It's good to see everybody this afternoon. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. I'm just sitting on the porch enjoying the nice, cool weather. I wanted to talk for just a minute about a subject of passing things on. I got the honor of being a pallbearer last Friday to a lady at Sylacauga that passed away, and because this will be on YouTube and everything else, I'd prefer not to use actual names. But this lady was her and her husband who just recently had passed away, and I also got the honor of being a pallbearer at his funeral as well. Were very, very good Christian people. The influence both of them had on me and my life, and I know my dad and my granddad actually was able to teach both of them the gospel. And I turn around and I start looking, and as we went up to the gravesite, something was on my mind as I sat back and I was thinking about now the just memories of a kid and growing up and them living right across from my parents, and they were always there at all the meals and just the sitting and the talking. And actually he was one of the people who was instrumental in me even wanting to preach the gospel. He believed in me really when I didn't even believe in myself with any of it. And he used to sit out on that old porch with me, and he would talk to me about how important it was that I made sure that I preached and I teached, and that it was important to him. And he was really willing to go the extra mile in everything that he did. And as I turned around and I looked across the pew of his family members, what I saw were members of the church. I saw members of the church from different age groups, from his kids to grandkids, and I started thinking about the subject of passing things on. What's really important? You know, I look at this ever-changing world, and sometimes it's really easy to get caught up in the things of this world. But the things that really matter are things that cannot put a price tag on. I want us to look at a couple points of things that are important for us to start looking at when it comes to passing on a legacy. The first thing I want us to look at is passing on a legacy when it comes to our families. You know, interestingly enough, it is so very important when it comes to the kids. As I sat there and I watched that funeral, everybody in that room knew where that lady was going. Everybody in that room knew where her husband was going. Nobody there had a second doubt. Everybody knew his dedication. But when it came to his family, the legacy that he left in the home when it came to the church. And what I mean by that is church to him wasn't something that just happened on Sunday. Church was something that was a Sunday through Sunday ordeal. It was every day. It was sitting down, it was reading, it was praying. And because of that, he wound up leaving a legacy to his family, to his kids. It was a way of teaching his kids the right way to raise your family. The next thing that I noticed when it came to him passing was how it affected the church itself. You see, I can remember so many times, and for those of you who know, I absolutely love to eat. I love to eat. I love to eat all the time, anything. It aggravates Allie to no end that I eat as much as I do, but I love to eat. And that lady made probably the best peach cobbler that I've ever had in my life. Now, saying that sounds like something that really doesn't matter, but interestingly enough, that was something that was even brought up at her funeral. You see, when it came to the church itself, she used the talents in which she had, and she was known for that, just like her husband using the talents which he had. And his passing will undoubtedly leave a void. You know, there's an old George Jones song called Who's Gonna Fill Their Shoes? You see, that's the point of leaving something behind. He left a legacy behind to his kids and his grandkids. He left an example of how to live a life, how to live a Christian life, how when things don't go your way, how you're supposed to handle it. And he left a legacy to people as myself, to be able to sit and to look at the example that man set, and to drive by that house and look and think that I sat there on that porch and that man there was the one who convinced me to do what I'm doing today. Well, each and every one of us is the most important person to somebody. And the question is, what legacy are we going to leave behind? Thanks. I hope y'all have a absolutely blessed Wednesday, and I cannot wait to see everyone Sunday. Thanks, and God bless.